Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-April 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cappies in mid-April? It's Aries season at the time of this filming. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn in mid-April. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. So I've been seeing this card sprinkled in over the past several weeks, and I like it. I love her style. She has an awesome haircut. But there's a lot of intriguing symbolism here with the sewing machine and the golden thread and that rainbow. So there's some really great stuff attached to this. It's very diligent. It reminds me of the Eight of Pentacles, so it could be nice. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this very unique looking individual here with that awesome hairdo. So as mentioned, she is in front of that sewing machine with the golden thread, rainbow coming out. First and foremost, the very creative type of energy. When I think of a seamstress, I think of diligence, I think of hard work, detail, fixing, mending things, but it's also a creative outlet. Right. So again, for some Capricorns, maybe the creative juices are flowing. So whether it's creative problem solving, you're having a lot of really good ideas. It's very cerebral in that kind of way. So again, I mean, the only downside could be overthinking or overworking something. That's just something to be aware of. But I love the diligence with this. And this also tells me that either something is worth the effort, something is worth the work, or there's something that could be fixed or mended or optimized. That's a big thing with this card, especially with the golden thread, because it's like I have what it takes to make this right. So that's a good thing. I really like this card. Again, the only downside here, very similar to the Eight of Pentacles, would be either overworking something or forcing anything. So in this time, like try not to bulldoze through too many things, whether it's like work related or personal relationships. But we're going to let her chill right there. She's in creation mode. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was centered more around communication. The reading itself was titled "A Serious Talk." And the way it really came through to me is either there was a talk of some topic of seriousness or importance that needs to be had, or one that was coming in. So just, again, even over the next coming weeks, because that energy could bleed over, just watch the communication. It did feel like very stern and matter of fact. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Capricorn to start us off. What do we got? In mid-April, please. Okay. 10 of Swords. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one. And you know me, it's the first card. I'm not going to say the reading is sunk, but 10 of Swords is always something we want to keep an eye on. But let's keep going. And I'm an endless optimist. So, okay, full card. So it's like we have ending, beginning. All right, so we have like a little cycle happening right here up in the front, which I think could be okay. I think this one's going to come down to what the clarifiers say. That's for sure. Let's get one more here. Remember, this could be someone else's energy. And when we look at tarot, I think of it as like an energetic weather report. I always say that. Okay, 6 of Pentacles. So we do have this little balance of energy that's going on, especially with that 6 of Pentacles here on the back end. And that is reminding me a little bit of that seamstress we had in the beginning. There's a lot of energetic movement, especially on the back end. So we're going to need to peek at it. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, we have a bit of a mixed bag. Now, you know me, I always like to look at the elements first. I feel like that frames the reading, tells us how energy is going to be flowing. We have a nice little mixture happening, right? We got some air, we got some fire, we have some earth. Okay, Earth is your power element, so that's good that that shows up in the end. But when it comes to matters of air, that's very logical, pragmatic, and strategic type of energy. It is like that logical mindset. Where earlier we saw the creative mindset, this one is all like bare bones, straight to the point, no fluff. It's great for information. So whether you're learning new things or trying to take in information or seeking, that's a big thing with air energy. And of course, communication. The downside to air, sometimes it could be a little flighty. Sometimes this energy could be a little cold and detached, sharp tongue. So we want to watch out for that. Into the middle, we have the fire. That's the realm of action. So whether it's the actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions you want to take. When I see fire, I think of energy levels, health, vitality. So whether you're feeling high or a little low, like this could absolutely be a bounce back going from Ten of Swords to the Fool. That's an increase. I'm already seeing it with the fire air combination. And it's passion, it's drive, it's motivation when we see the fire. The only downside to fire is that it could be a little explosive, right? It's a little unpredictable. So we'll keep an eye on it. Moving to the back end, we have earth, your power element. That does speak about inner security and stability. It could be ritual and routine, so your day to day life, things that you do normally, your structure, uh, family, home, work, business, money, finances, all of that falls under the earth umbrella, which I think is usually great. Downside to earth energy, it's not the fastest moving, and sometimes it could feel a little bit stuck. So you see what I mean? We got the little scales going here. Let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we do start with a bit of a doozy, my friends. We got the Ten of Swords right there in position number one. And you know I'm an optimist, but even with that card, that could be a little bit problematic, right? We see this individual, 10 swords in the back, yikes, right? But to me, it's like ripping a band aid off because, like, after this, the energy seems to improve, which I think is nice. Now, the silver lining of the Ten of Swords is that there's nowhere to go but up from here. So I'm leading off with the positive aspects. There's nowhere to go except up. So I like that. That could tell us there's a lot of room for improvement somewhere. The downside, it can represent endings. It can represent the close of a cycle. It can represent pain and loss. We're not going to harp on it too much. I always say when it comes to a challenge card, aside from this being an energetic weather report, you can absolutely sidestep this. But a big thing is that it's a spectrum, right? So for some of you, maybe you're just feeling a little grumpy. Maybe you have a couple of days where I'm just not feeling myself. That could easily be it. But the Ten of Swords can also be pretty major. So we do want to keep a very close eye on it. But again, the silver lining with the Ten of Swords is improvement. Nowhere to go but up. So if there are any problems, situations, endings, or things happening, the Ten of Swords tells us, like, okay, that's done what it needed to do. I'm ripping the band aid off. Like, that's the best way to put it. And the next card over really reinforces that when we come in with the Fool. So it's like we have a card that could be an ending, and we have one that's a fresh new beginning. I love the Fool. Big Aries energy. We're currently in Aries season. Now, the Fool is the first of the major arcana, the first tarot card. So he is the protagonist, the hero. Usually it's happy, jovial, having a good time, very lighthearted type of energy. So when I see it come off the end of this Ten of Swords, it's like, okay, now we're getting an uptick in energy, which can be really great. So again, it's great for new cycles, new endeavors. It's just a rejuvenated type of energy that I really like. Very adventurous, and it could speak about big picture journeys as well. The downside to the Fool is that sometimes it could be a little wild, right? Like the Fool is very spontaneous. Notice he's always depicted like he's about to walk off a cliff. His little puppy dog is trying to stop him, like, wait, 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 wait. So again, just watch the spontaneity, watch for temptations and urges in this time, especially with the Fool. But again, to me, it's good. It's like fresh. So like we have this backward cycle happening in the front. It's like we start with an ending, then we have the beginning. There is an energetic shift and change, that's for sure, when we see these cards showing up together. Usually you would expect them to be the other way around. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Six of Pentacles. Also a pretty good card. I would say it's open, it's giving, it's charitable with the scales there. That could also be karmic in a sense, where it's like, all right, we're balancing the scales. But we see this individual and they're giving out coins to other people. So it's like, I want to give. It's great for money, great for finances, great for work. Anything in that material realm, I like it. It could represent help and assistance. So maybe someone you're connected to is going through a bit of a tough time and they need a little help, or maybe you need help with something. Nothing wrong with that. This is a big card of giving. That's the big overarching theme here. But the downside to the Six of Pentacles, sometimes this energy could give too much or give so much that it leaves itself tapped out. So that's something to be aware of, especially if you're a very empathetic individual, because sometimes the Six of Pentacles could just overgive. It could also represent situations that are either very balanced or recalibrated, or it's an energy that is not equal in effort, right? Like, so it's like we have this down energy and then a recalibration happening. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for you, my friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation. I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Ten of Swords. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Ten of Swords. What do we got? Why is this Ten of Swords here? Okay. Yeah, I mean, this energy is very much a no BS, no nonsense type of energy. This could be someone that's on high alert. So for some Capricorns, you may be like extra honed in on details of various situations, because this is an energy that doesn't want to be caught off guard. That's initially what I'm picking up here, where it's like, no, I don't want any surprises. Nope, I don't want to be caught off guard. Now, the Seven of Swords can sometimes be like a little quiet, hidden, sneaky type of energy. If this was in the upright, I'd be like, oh, there's something that could close out without you realizing it. But the main thing I pick up here with it in reverse is like, no, I'm extra alert. I have my eyes open. So again, I'm not saying that you're on edge or anything like that, but it's like I'm extra honed in on details of something. But it is also giving me that energy where it's like if I get a whiff of anything funky, I'm shutting it down. So again, with that on edge, extra honed in on details, like this energy is not playing games. That's what I could tell you. And listen, I know how you beautiful Cappies roll, right? Like when I see the Ten of Swords with the Seven of Swords in reverse, it's like, oh, I've seen this before. Or nope, I know how this goes. It's like I'm looking into the future with something. So can there be an ending? Yes. But this is also kind of the energy of like, game over. I'm not playing games no more. If I get a whiff of anything funky, I'm shutting it down. So again, that could show up in a lot of different areas of life. But the main theme I'm picking up here is someone that's just like very honed in on details, not wanting to get caught off guard. So better safe than sorry, right? Like that's a good way to be. Right? It's not like you're manifesting this in. It's just like I'm looking for the warning signs, right? We're gonna keep moving. So very simple, game over type of energy could potentially be an ending, but it's just, yeah, very alert type of energy here. So let's go in on the Fool. Better safe than sorry. I don't know why that energy keeps popping up in my mind, but we're going to keep going. Why is the Fool here? Thank you. Cool. And it works out for you. It does. All right. So we have the Empress in the upright underneath this Fool. Absolutely beautiful energy. Where it's like, yep, I knew it. Made the right call. Even if there is something where it's like, I wasn't sure. I didn't want to do that. I mean, the Fool with the Empress is happy. It's abundant. It's filled with blessings. And it's moving in a very positive direction. So those of you, even cross watchers that might be going through a difficult situation right now, after this Ten of Swords, Seven of Swords moment, when I see the Fool with the Empress, it's like now we're moving in a very beautiful direction. Now we're cooking. So to me, it is that level up. It's like that explosive win or victory where it's like the energy potentially bottoms out, but then boom, starts skyrocketing, which I think is great. It's a big turnaround in something. So explosive win, victory, or again, this could be a situation that does a quick 180 on you. Now, the Empress, big Venus energy, very pleasurable, enjoyable. As far as zodiac signs, I connect this to Taurus and Libra. Uh, Blessings and abundance, cup runneth over. So this is claimable. So it's like we have this intriguing dynamic this week where we got this energy, not so nice, not so pleasant. And this one here is like perfect, or at least moving in a very positive direction. Sometimes you need to go through this to get to this. That's how it feels. So that's the main thing. Either it's like a 180, big turnaround with something. It's an increase. It's a bounce back. But it's absolutely like an explosive win, like with the fire air combo we got going on here in the front. It's like, choom, it's like a rocket, which I think is really good. So we're going to put her down right there. We're not going to overcomplicate it. The Empress is beautiful, beautiful energy. So I like that drastic upswing. I like that drastic turnaround. That's how this feels to me. But let's keep going. Let's go in on the Six of Pentacles. Very peculiar how we go from like such a down energy to such a high energy so quickly. But listen, I'll take it, right? Let's see what's up with that Six of Pentacles. and we'll do our quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is that Six of Pentacles here? Thank you. Okay. The process, something about just letting something work itself out. Okay. So we have Temperance in the upright underneath this Six of Pentacles. Now, the thing I love about Temperance, it has Archangel Michael depicted on it. Very angelic, very protective. So again, I love this. If you've been meditating, praying, connecting with your inner self, this energy is really, really beautiful. It's like a orb of protection. So I love this. So if you haven't been doing that, maybe throw a few prayers out there, or meditation. But the thing with temperance is it's literally being temperate, right? Where it's either I'm cutting back on something, I'm trimming something down, making it very simple, or it's being very patient. So, like, and as far as zodiac signs, Sagittarius energy here. But when I see it underneath the Six of the Pentacles, it's like, I'm just going to give this time. I'm going to let this do what it needs to do. I'm going to go through this process, and however long it takes is however long it takes. So it's not like there's a huge rush here, which I think is great. Now, for some Capricorns, this might be advice from spirit where it's like, yeah, just let it work itself out. Like, let it do what it's going to do. Not saying be completely hands off, but I mean, for some of you, that might be the best case scenario, because I feel like either something just needs to process, it needs to do what it's going to do, and a good outcome comes because of it. Remember, I said earlier, like, try not to force anything or push anything. It's showing up here again, where it's like, if you just let it flow, you're going to get the best possible outcome here. So we got wins and victories, but we have this mixed bag thing going on here, Capricorn. I think for the most part, the energy this week is pretty positive, especially here on the back end. And imagine me saying that with 10 of Swords, 7 of Swords, but that's just how it feels to me. But let's go through. I'll do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadows. So if you kindly look in the box position number one, we start off a little rocky, right? A little bit of a rocky road. We have the 10 of Swords, 7 of Swords in reverse. To me, this energy just felt very cautious, very particular, looking at like little warning signs and stuff, not wanting to be caught off guard. This could be an energy where it's like not messing around, not playing games. Any scent of funkiness happening, and it's like, I'm shutting that down. So could it be an ending? Sure. But to me, it's just being extra cautious, better safe than sorry. So possible ending. But here in the center, we have the Fool with the Empress in the upright. Huge bounce back type of energy. It feels like an explosive win or victory to me, where it does a complete total 180, where it goes from real low to super high real quick. Now, that's a big swing, but I like it. It's swinging in the right direction. That's what I like about it the most. So we'll take that. Moving to the back end, we have the Six of Pentacles with Temperance in the upright, where it's like, I'm going to give something time, not going to pressure it, I'm going to let it do what it needs to do, I'm going to go through this process. So again, if you are going through a process of any kind, spirit might just be wanting you to see where it goes before making a final decision on it. That's part of it, but it just seems to flow. There's something here about not pressuring, not rushing, but just letting the energy flow, that flow state. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Cappy? What do we got for Cappy? Thank you. Cool. Page of Cups. So water sign energy starting to show up here. And I always say when it comes to pages, they're youthful energy. Sometimes they represent individuals younger than us. If you're not connected to a water sign, all pages are students and messengers. So they do absorb information. But a big thing with the Page of Cups is that it needs to let its emotion out in some way. So in the positive sense, could this be like a venting sesh? Talking, getting something off your chest? Absolutely, it can be that in its most positive form, or some kind of communication. But the downside of the Page of Cups is sometimes it can suppress things. So I think a big thing, especially for this week, is having some sort of outlet to put energy into. So whether it's like a physical activity outlet or a creative outlet, Spirit might be saying like, hey, Capricorn, you need some place to funnel this energy when this page is here. But yeah, sometimes the Page of Cups in its shadow form could suppress, bite its tongue, hold things in. So maybe some of you are doing that too, but I don't think it's a bad thing. We're going to let them chill right there, Capricorn. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale or one of the custom-made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.